Hello guys, Art-Teeves here. This is a shorter sped-up narration of a previous video. If you have already seen it, there is no need for you to watch this one again. However, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Please let me know if you prefer longer non-commentary modeling videos or shorter narrated focused videos that just hit the key stages of modeling process. And now let's jump into the modeling process. First things first, I create a camera model. I use the Align tool to position its blockout pieces precisely. Then I merge them together and clean up the topology. Finally, I chamfer the edges to add some detail. For a good balance between smoothness and efficiency, I use a chamfer value of 3 on external edges and just a single chamfer on internal edges. To create a lens, I take a hemisphere mesh and shrink it down along its main axis. Then I carefully position it inside the camera module to get the placement just right. The robot's body is made from a simple box that is divided into semi-square polygons. I use the FFD tool to give it a smoother look. As you can see, both top and bottom parts remain flat. The power jack is made by using the shell modifier. Its rear part is deleted and some rounded metal parts are added inside. Don't overextend with your poly count when making round jacks. In my opinion, 16 to 18 side edges will do just fine. Now I merge everything together and clean my topology just a little bit. Next I create the top module. Just like before, I give its outer edges 2 to 3 chamfers and only give a single chamfer to edges on its back. Internal jacks receive the same amount of edges as their surroundings. This way you won't have to modify your topology when simply bridging everything together. You may only work on one side of such model. Symmetry tool will really speed up the process. Next I create legs that will connect side models to the robot. They don't need a high amount of sides, as they will stay covered from side most of the time. Even 12 edges will do the trick. Shoulders are made by embedding cylinders into the robot's torso. I do it by using the Propylene tool, adding some extra edge loops and cleaning up the topology just a little bit. Sides are almost flat, so even if your topology is a little bit sloppy, it won't affect your shading too much. I add some decorative lights to the side of the wire model and also some decorative cavities to its top side. You don't need Propylene tool at this stage, as all objects are simply aligned to each other and bridged together. Wires are made by using splines. I add extra vertices by using the Refine tool, set my vertices to smooth, and finally give my splines some volume. Make sure to give them the amount of edges that matches their surroundings, to simply bridge them to their corresponding parts later on. I also add a rear jack to the wire module. Make sure to detach only those pieces of geometry that actually intersect, blend them together, fix their topology and attach them back, hitting the Weld Vertices button. I give external edges of the next model 2 to 3 chamfers and highlight its rear edge with a single chamfer. I also give it huge smooth cartoony buttons and switches to maintain the overall stylized cartoony look of the model. When modeling cartoony elements, making them thick is a real cheat. It increases their visual quality almost in every case. I give control module 2 buttons and 2 cavities for switches that resemble decorative cavities we made for wire model, and also I add a button to its left side. I make buttons smooth, while cavity edges are highlighted with a single chamfer. Then I add 4 rear connectors and also a wire, the same way we used to create 2 wires on the front side. Then I merge all wires and modules to the robot's torso. Remember to detach all parts of intersecting geometry, blend them together, fix their topology, and attach them back. The robot's hands are made from intersecting cylinders. There is really nothing special about them. Each hand consists of 2 elements, forearm and a lower arm, which is also a hand or a tool. Make sure to place their pivot points to their actual rotation points and make them intersect each other properly. Also I create cavities on their elbows to highlight the improvised rails for mechanical hand rotation. I create hand tools by polygon modeling, starting from a cylinder. I highlight hard edges with single chamfers. Then I merge corresponding elements together, set their pivot to the pivot point of the robot's body, and copy the hand to the opposite side. Hand normals may get flipped in process, so you can reset their scale, rotation, and X-form to fix them. I start making legs by creating an improvised rubber connector by using the extrude tool. Then I create a sphere that has the same amount of edges as the cylinder above it, and connect them by using a bridge tool. Just like the robot's hands, its legs consist of two elements. Make sure to make its boots thick and big enough to match the actual scale of your robot. Finally, I create two switches, highlight their edges with a single chamfer, position them properly, and embed them into our control module. If you want to animate them later on, you may want to keep them as separate objects. I create antenna the same way I've made leg joints. I create a sphere and bridge its part to a cylinder below. Finally, I scan my model for n-gons, vertices that connect more than 5 edges, and open edges. Then I use the 3ds Max X-View tool to find overlapping or isolated vertices. Finally, I reset transform, scale, and X-form of all elements and place my model's bottom part to point with 0, 0, 0 scene coordinates. Then I proceed to unwrapping. I check my smoothing groups and flatten my UVs by smoothing groups. Then I mark some seams manually, normalize my UV chunks, and send my model to Rhizome UV, for it has the best tool to straighten and align UVs. Then I return to 3ds Max and use the UV Packer add-on to pack my UV chunks with texture padding set to 16. Thanks for watching, guys. Please tell me in the comments below if you want more of similar videos, more of non-commentary videos that cover the whole process of modeling, or both. There's a link in the description of this video that may send you to the full modeling process. If you found this tutorial useful, be my guest and subscribe to my channel for more stylized content. And most importantly, have a great day!